Yeah, let's
pull out your blue tickets. Thunderfest, re-welcome to Rudy Sarzo. Rudy Sarzo. The Von Trapp family. Sound of music. All right, well, he's coming. There he is, Rudy Sarzo. Say hello. Is this thing on?
Turn up, Rudy.
Mike. No drummer like him. We've just had him out here. He put the Iron Maiden rehearsals off for 1 week. Scott's honest truth, because he wanted to be part of the first Thunderfest. Being that he's from Florida and everything. Would you please welcome again Nicko McBrain? And there's no man like this. The man with the best middle name in rock and roll. Dee fucking Snider!
Like you were rubbing on your ass, you son of a bitch. Smells like your ass. I am. Oh, that was you, wasn't it? See, you think you did that to me. Good afternoon. Turn this on now. Oh, I can fight you. I'm not the only one that works. That's what she said last night. Hello, there I am. Oh, there you are. Hey!
1 second. We're going to get one other mic out here so the people can,
Would you like me to hold it?
I see you're warmed up.
Hello. Okay, we're going to pass this around and just address a few questions or two, and then they'll fill in the blanks. Okay, anyone have a question? We can start in the back.
Nicko McBrain.
Hello.
Thank you very much for the great music over the years. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Also wanted to ask if Derek Riggs can do any more covers for Iron Maiden.
Mr. Riggs, he didn't do the last 2 albums, but he certainly has done the artwork for T-shirts and various other bits and pieces. He's still commissioned by us. He doesn't actually. We actually had him on a retainer for a while, for many years actually. But over the last, say, 5 or 6 years, he just gets paid per piece that he does. He's a bit of a lazy bastard, so that's what, but, you know, you say to me, it's a great idea, go and paint it, you know, and get a picture of Eddie, and it'd take him a year, you know. Well, where's Eddie? He's done the leg. You know, that's it. Well, where's the rest of him? You know? So yes, he's still with us. He's still very much a part of our artists, but most definitely Eddie's artwork. Thank you.
Dee Snider, will you have a cameo in the new Howard Stern movie?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did make the final cut. Howard had about 12 rock stars, if you can include Tiny Tim as one of those, come and do cameos in this. They recreated the MTV Awards that he did as Fart Man a few years ago. And I hear that in the final thing, they cut out Slash and Ted Nugent and MC Hammer and Flavor Flav, and it's me, Ozzy, and Tiny Tim. So, yeah. I don't know what that means exactly.
Covering all bases.
Yeah, right.
If you have a question, just keep your hands up, okay? So
Well, 2.5 at least.
right here? No?
For Rudy Sarzo, what's the deal with Whitesnake?
Well, I'm not playing in the band, that's all. Yeah, that's as much as I can tell you right now.
Great thing about Rudy is you can ask what to deal with any band, and he has some affiliation.
That's about it. I mean, you can always call Jerry Miller, and she'll tell you everything that's going on.
Did she tell you anything you want to know?
Why don't we get this little guy down here?
Dee,
Yeah.
have you had any thought about coming back with Twisted?
Yeah, me and the Twisted guys are actually on speaking terms for the first time in like 9 years, which is a major accomplishment. And what? Well, that's interesting. Well, yeah, okay. Almost all the guys in voice did. But as we speak, no, actually, we're getting closer to doing something. We started talking, not so much for a reunion, but just thought that after all the years we spent together, it was really kind of messed up to be at each other's throats. So, but now we're talking about doing something maybe later this year, and we don't know exactly what or when, but we are talking.
Yeah, I got a question for Dee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was about a year ago. You did a show in New York at I think it was the Rock Ridge Saloon with Twiggy from Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
And Robin from Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah.
Just want to know what were your feelings on that, and I think you did play another show also as SMF, and you're doing. I know that show you did like all Twisted Sister covers.
Yeah, all right. I know where you're going with this. I'll explain it to you. All right. Yeah, it was actually, I don't know, a couple years ago now already? Yes. Some years ago when Nine Inch Nails and Marilyn Manson were playing in Madison Square Garden. They called me up, Robin Fink called me up and said that he and Twiggy wanted to go to a local club and do a set of Twisted covers and wanted to know if I would front. And I said it sounded like a good idea. So it was unannounced, advertised as the Sick Motherfuckers, but the word got out. And the place was packed, and everybody from Nine Inch Nails and Manson and Anthrax, and it was just great. And we did about 8 Twisted songs. Just had fun with it.
Yeah, I have an audio copy.
Yeah, and it was a lot. Oh, you do? Oh yeah. Grab this one. Oh, you are. Well, I think everybody in Florida is friends with somebody in Marilyn Manson's family, or maybe they don't want to admit it, I don't know. But, so after that, I kind of liked doing it. It was kind of a fun thing, and I put together just a bunch of musicians and started doing what's called SMF gigs, going around playing Twisted stuff from time to time, just to get out there and play, because I'm not doing a Widowmaker thing right now. I'm not doing anything musically, so to go out and play once in a while is a lot of fun. So, but I only did that once with them.
Are you still doing the movie Helltown? Is it going to be directed by Tom Savini?
Okay.
That's what I heard.
Helltown is in pre-production right now. Tom is not doing the directing, but it looks like he'll be doing special effects on the movie. Tom was very involved with the film. It's a movie I wrote. It's a horror drama film about this psychopath who's into body modification named Captain Howdy. And I'll be playing the psychopath in the movie. I know it's a stretch, but since Bon Jovi wasn't available, I'll have to do it.
How do you feel about bootlegging?
Oh, I think it's great.
The question was, how do you feel about bootlegging?
Yeah, how do you feel about it? Bootlegging's fine. The only thing I kind of don't agree with is selling the bootlegs. The thing is, if you're buying a bootleg, you don't know what the quality's like. Even if it's great quality and you buy one, you know, I mean, it's a little bit. Yeah, that's where the buck should stop. I mean, bootleg's fine, you know. I collect them actually myself. So anyone's got any bootlegs of bands, let me have them. No, I think it's fine. No problem.
Nicko.
Hey Rudy, what was it like, how did you get with playing with Ozzy, and what was it like playing with Randy Rhoads?
I got into playing with Ozzy because I used to play with Randy in the original Quiet Riot in the 70s. And when they needed a bass player, because Bob Daisley was not in the band anymore, and so Randy called me up, actually, you know, asked me if I wanted to go down there and audition. I said, sure. So actually the first time that I got called by Sharon, Ozzy's manager and now his wife, I turned it down because I was playing at the time with a band called Angel. Yeah. And even though I was really broke, I just, you know, I was having a good time. And then by the time that Ozzy himself called me back to ask me, you know, to come down and audition, I had thought about it, and you know, what am I doing? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You know, so that's how it happened.
Questions? You got to show hands right down here.
Rudy, are you going to start doing more Latin music as opposed to the hard rock?
Well, me being Latin, I've been doing Latin music all my life, you know, even though it's disguised as heavy metal, you know.
Are you going to release anything?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I have my own label, and it specializes in rock and Spanish, so I figured there's a whole bunch of labels doing it in English, so the less competition for me, the better, you know, so I figured I'm going to go in Spanish, you know, and we're distributed through Caroline, which is a very fine distribution company, owned by EMI, and with anybody who's interested, we got some CDs over that corner, and bands from Argentina, Mexico.
Rudy, you still have any contact with the guys in Quiet Riot or anything?
Santa Monica Civic in Los Angeles, and they invited Quiet Riot to play at the after show party at the Dragonfly. And
Quite right, back together.
Mention open bar, that's it.
yeah.
It always works.
Yeah, and so I went down, did a couple of songs, and it was great. As a matter of fact, we're talking about doing it for real.
Yeah.
You know, not just for an open bar, you know, open bar. So the plan is to go through with Twisted Sister and Iron Maiden, and
Worked well last time.
as a matter of fact, Twisted and Quiet Riot opened up for Iron Maiden, so we owe everything to Nicko and the lads, you know.
I would say. We certainly had some fun on the road, that's for sure. Good gigs.
Hey Nicko, right around the Power Slave album, I noticed that you and Davey and Steve all got some tattoos. Was there like a joint inspiration on that?
Yeah, I was actually...
Just tell me a story, so I'll tell it to you.
Yeah, we actually, Steve, he turned around to me and said, hey Nick, look, I'm going to get a tattoo. You fancy getting one? And I said, yeah, sounds like a good idea. So we arranged to see this guy in Ilford in England. And I bottled out, and Harry went down on his own, and he got real pissed off with me because I didn't turn up. But I just thought I would be the guinea pig, and I'll have a look at the guy's work first. So I saw Steve's, and that's when I had mine done. And in fact, I had these were given, made, and the artwork was put on my arm in Jersey when we were doing Power Slave, the rehearsals for the album.
And then just seeing those in magazines and kind of thinking, wow.
Yeah. Steve's got 4, and I just stay with 2, and Dave's got a unicorn tattoo on his forearm. Yeah.
Dee,
Yeah.
did you really wear dresses when Twisted Sister
Dresses. Let's not be silly. Women's lingerie, yes. Dresses, never. And I got in barroom brawls wearing lingerie. Imagine being beaten up by a guy with lingerie on. How do you explain that to your father and keep your dignity? We got a little bit of the...
How'd you get the black eye, son? Oh, I fell over on a door, old son.
Lie.
You gotta keep your hands up. Okay.
It's for Nicko.
Yes, sir.
On Somewhere in Time, the song, was that double bass, or did you always play single bass?
Always single.
This is sort of a gallop.
Yeah,
That's hard to do.
Phenomenal.
Real hard.
Yeah, it's... Thank you. I might not be a very good top kick player, but I certainly got a fast right foot. Yeah, it's singles. It's just,
Is that a DW bass pedal?
that one is, yeah. The one that I was using, I've been using DW for 6 years. Their bass drum pedals.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, speakings were really sweet. Yeah, it was just single.
What do all three of you miss about the 80s that didn't carry over into the 90s?
Touring together.
Rudy, you want to start that?
My career.
Oh no.
What I really miss is videos with Tawny Katane in it.
You know something we don't?
No, seriously, musically speaking, you know, I heard you say like 1 or 2 or 3, Marilyn Manson sucks. I heard you. I happen to like Marilyn Manson, have something to do with the fact that they say that Twisted Sister is their inspiration, so I can't really hate them that much, huh? No, I'm kidding. But seriously, what I like about them is they're finally bringing back some of the visual aspects of the music and some of the excitement and some of the interest, you know, you can only look at flannel shirts just for so long, you know. I mean, that's what he said.
The back?
Dee Snider,
Yeah.
what made you record Leader of the Pack?
The lead vocalist for the Shangri-Las, actually. That's the band that did now. In the 70s, when Twisted started, we used to play that song in the clubs. And I used to come out on a Harley Davidson motorcycle on stage, and we had been doing it for years, and it just seemed like a logical thing to do at the time. It was just a song that we'd been playing for so long, we just thought maybe let's do it on the next record, you know. Why did I do it originally? We were a lot more glitter glam rock, you know, back in the early 70s, and I used to go out to, you know, big and tall women's shops and buy clothing right off the rack, you know. That's floral. I should get in a fight wearing that. Oh, there is that set of pictures. But that was actually a costume that was made. This is true. My flame outfit. My wife Suzette made that. But you can see it's a halter top with a complemented with a latex belt. Anyways, but you know, so and that sort of just went with the whole glammy kind of thing that we were doing back then.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Right there.
Dee, how many records did Twist is sell in all?
10 million worldwide.
Good. For all your releases?
Yeah. Pardon?
For all your releases?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, exactly 10 million, but it dropped off suddenly. No, it's around 10 million, yeah.
It's the grunge. Nico,
Yes, sir.
did you find any of Clive Burr's work hard to emulate after you started with the band?
All of it.
All of it.
No. The thing is, with the way it worked for me when I joined was that obviously I had to keep the arrangements that had been worked out for the songs, but I would play, like for Number of the Beast, for instance, I'd play it different to the way Clive does, but I'd keep basically the same structure, the rhythmic structure and the segments and all the little important drum cues. I played my own style, but basically what he did. And yeah, there was quite a lot of the Maiden stuff isn't easy.
I worked with Clive in a project called Desperado. We were talking about this yesterday, the ill-fated Desperado project. And one thing about Clive that I found most interesting, of all the drummers I've worked with, he was the only drummer that worked off the vocal. And I don't say that in a funny fashion. He didn't finish writing his drum parts until he knew like every word I was singing and the melody to the song, where drummers traditionally work off the bass player or something like that, but just he didn't pay any attention to anybody but the lead vocalist. So I think that accounts for Clive had a pretty unique style.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Thank you.
Is Widowmaker as popular in England as it was, as Twisted Sister was over there?
No. Widowmaker has not had any real success, you know, on a street level, but no real major success. And right now, Widowmaker is on hiatus. It's been for a while now. I plan on doing something in the future, but right now my focus is on this movie I'm doing.
Nico, who was your big inspiration on drums?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
Well, when I first started playing, I was 11 years old, and you can see you give my age away now, aren't you? It was Ringo Starr, and Charlie Watts, and then that was when I was first starting to learn to play, and then the great Keith Moon came along with My Generation, and it just blew me away. So then I went from Charlie and Ringo to Keith Moon, and then of course the great John Bonham. So my main influences were those four guys.
Well, who's the rest of them?
Everybody's influence?
Ringo definitely, yeah.
Little known fact, Ringo was the original bass player for Quiet Riot.
You know, the same thing, you know, like every band that has a great rhythm section goes hand in hand. You have great drummers playing with great bass players. So it's you know, whoever played bass with the guys that Nico mentioned, you know, from Paul McCartney to Jan Entwistle to, well, Bill Wyman, actually Keith Richards played bass in a lot of the stuff that I like. And, you know, John Paul Jones and Chris Squire and Jaco Pastorius and on and on. You know,
Geddy Lee.
You know, I wasn't really a big Geddy Lee fan, and I'm sorry to say that, but you know, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to go, yeah. You know, when I was very young, I had very limited budget, so if I had a choice of buying a Rush album or a Led Zeppelin record, you know, I'll just go and buy Led Zeppelin, you know, or a Yes record.
And for me, Alice Cooper, Bon Scott, AC/DC, Alfred Dio, nobody good, you know.
Thought you were going to say Bon Jovi for a minute.
Did you ever get to play with your idols? So anybody that you've named?
Well, opened for Priest, so that was cool. Never got to meet Bon, and that's kind of a drag. Got to sing with Alice, do a duet on "Be Cruel to Your School" and the Come Out and Play album, and we did a video together, and that was really outrageous. You know, to do that and to sit in a room and work with someone that you've sat in your bedroom listening to their records, imagining, you know, and now you're working with them. It was really exciting. Yeah.
This is for Dee. Do you still have your radio show out on RCN?
I was doing a local radio show up in New York City area called The Metal Nation. And I was hoping to get it syndicated, but things didn't work out. Right now, I just signed a deal to do a new syndicated radio show that hopefully will start popping up this spring. It's called Dee Snider's House of Hair. And by the name, yes, it's 80s metal and hard rock. It's going to be like 2 hours a week. So I'm going to start doing that in March, so start watching for it in your area.
Yeah. Dee, will Under the Blade ever be released on CD in America?
If me and the guys in Twisted have anything to say about it, it will, yeah. One of the first things we did when we became friends again was to start working out a licensing deal with Atlantic Records and the people who have the rights to our videos and our albums to reissue some of the things, because most of the stuff you can't even get anymore. And we're just about closing a deal right now with Atlantic Records, and once we do, we're going to start reissuing everything, Under the Blade, all this stuff. And then some unreleased stuff we've got as well.
In the back, blue shirt.
Yeah, Nicko, is that a 2002 China or Novo China you're using?
That's a 2002 China.
China.
Yeah.
It sounds great.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially hit with your knuckle.
In the back.
Yeah, what's the status of the TV show?
The television show. All right. I keep mentioning this stuff to Jerry Miller, and then everybody knows. Metal Edge. Yeah, I signed a deal with MTM Productions to develop a television show about me and my wife and kids. It's tentatively called There Goes the Neighborhood, but I keep referring to it as Snidefeld. And well, the whole story is that Howard Stern told me that I should just have a video camera follow me and my family around, because your life's like it's hysterical. He said, because you know, Dee, he said, you try to pretend you're a regular guy and you've got 4 kids and the wife, but you're not a regular guy. You're like Herman Munster, man. You're walking down the street, cars are crashing, you're looking around going, oh, what happened? So my agent happened to mention it to some television people, and everybody wanted to buy the idea for the show. So I quickly typed up a biography about me and my wife and kids, and we sold it to MTM Productions. So right now we're going to the networks for mid-season replacement. So not for this fall, for the mid-season. They're trying to get it on. We'll see what happens. I can't believe anybody would be that interested, but apparently a lot of people are.
Yeah.
This is for Nicko. Are you keeping in touch with Adrian Smith at all?
Oh yeah.
That was Adrian.
Yeah, actually, he's just worked on a new album with Bruce.
Oh, cool.
Good collaboration. Yeah, but Adrian's fine. He's still doing his solo
It's
project.
called Missing Maidens.
Missing Maidens. Maidenettes. And yeah, he's doing fine. He's still very much. Everybody is still very much a part of the Iron Maiden family. Although there's been some bad words over the last 3 or 4 years, but it's all smoothed out and everybody's still in touch with each other. In fact, I spoke to Bruce just over Christmas.
When I said Marilyn Manson, Nine Inch Nails, stuff like that, and I like the punk stuff and what have you. I think that quite honestly, metal did itself in the 90s, not you guys, and certainly not any of our bands, but a lot of the bands that were coming out by the end of the 80s were just so formulated and played out that they just killed the goose that laid the golden egg, so to speak. So it had to happen that the music had to die and new stuff. They call it alternative, but a lot of it's just metal in disguise. You and I know it. Nobody likes to use the M word these days, but they will before long. And music's gotten invented again, and I like that. It's gotten creative, and there's a lot of changes. And as soon as some of the more theatrical aspects come back to it, some of the excitement and the larger-than-lifeness comes back to it, I'll be really happy. You know, like I said, I really like the direction that Marilyn Manson's taking things in now.
Ready? Your feelings about the music in the 90s?
I agree with him 100%.
100%. Nico?
Yeah, I agree with the ditto. Yes. I like Smashing Pumpkins. I didn't like them actually when they first came out, but my wife was a big fan. So every day she'd get up and crank it out in the stereo, and I thought, oh, I'm not that good now. You know, and finally I thought, oh, give in, they're really cool, right? And yeah, it's a good man. Yeah.
This is for Nico. With the X Factor being on a small label CMC, how well did it do in America?
I think we did about 280,000 albums, which it's kind of about 2/3 of what we used to do. But having said that, you know, bands were, you know, gauging their success on 60 to 90,000 albums, and you were doing really good to sell that kind of figure to 100. And so, basically, yeah, they've done the only problem that we found was the actual distribution. We were going into doing, you know, when we did the X Factor tour of America, we were going into certain cities, and kids were coming up going, "Wow, man, oh mate, what are you doing here?" We're doing a gig tonight. "Oh yeah, well, when's your new album coming out?" And we go, "It's been out for 3 months." And so what was happening was a lot of kids were going into the record stores and they couldn't actually get the album. It wasn't distributed too well because they were such a small label.
I was on CMC with Widowmaker, and 250,000 units with CMC is like triple platinum on Columbia. You know, I mean, their heart's in the right place, but the distribution stinks.
It really was bad. Yeah.
Well, they're on BMG now.
Well, yeah, they finally hooked up with BMG, and maybe, like I said, they really, you know, when Widowmaker signed with CMC, I mean, they really had some great ideas, and they were really enthusiastic, and they're very supportive of more traditional heavy metal, which is great. You got to applaud them for that, but it's tough when you go into a town, and like Nico said, Widowmaker went out on the road, no records in any of the stores. We come into the town, so you know, what's touring about if not to promote your album? But now CMC is getting older and wiser, and they've hooked up with BMG, and so hopefully they'll get these great records into the stores finally.
Rudy, what made you start playing the bass?
Chicks.
Dee, what made you start singing? Chicks. Nico, what made you start playing drums?
What do you think?
Nipples.
Sad but true.
Right here.
Rudy, do you care for using 6 or 5-string basses, or do you just prefer 4? I mean, do you
Well, I
experiment?
like to have 5 or 6 just in case one of the other strings breaks. No, actually, you know,
Well, you mean you play with more than one?
sometimes.
Do you experiment with the 6-string?
Yeah, it all depends, you know, in the type of music that you're doing, you know.
We're going to do a couple of questions more, and then we're going to find out exactly how the Band of Doom came about. Dee's going to give you a little story on that, because it sort of just fell into our laps. And take a couple of questions. And you want to see these guys play tonight, right?
Yeah!
Any more questions real quick? We'll take 2 or 3 more. Right down here.
This is for Nico. I was wondering, what was the goofiest thing that happened on last year's U.S. tour?
The goofiest thing?
Like anything really weird? Like
I don't know really. Well, there was one place we played in. God, where was it? It was up north where they had these a real big flood. I forget the name of the gap. Anyway, we went to this gig, and 2 weeks prior to us playing, it was under 12 foot of water. Right, so we went in and it stank. I mean, this place was like really bad, you know. But we get in, and we got up on stage, and the ceiling of the show was here on stage, right? In this gig. When I sat down, they had 4 lamps behind me, right? For the lighting, it was in-house lights. We didn't, you know, sort of these sort of bucket lamps up behind it. And the geezer out front turned them on, and he burnt me head. I mean, I ain't joking. It's like it got so hot because these lamps were like here. You know, I mean, that's a goofy thing, I suppose. So yeah, I mean, that was it. Nothing else other than that, apart from Blaze falling off stage one night. Harry running into Yannick and smashing his guitar into his bass. No, nothing really good.
Here, right down here again.
Rudy, what would have to be the best band you play with in the whole day?
And of all the bands you played with, who did you enjoy?
Yeah, they're all very special to me. You know, Ozzy because Randy Rhoads being there, and with Quiet Riot because we went from like driving ourselves in in cars, touring, opening up for all these major bands, and just, we were very determined, so it was kind of like the dream come true, And with Whitesnake, because I got to play with some incredible musicians and play some great songs, and, it was great. Every single band is very special to me.
Okay, right back here.
Dee, is it true on the Come Out and Play tour that you worked with a backup singer that stood off stage?
I wish. Maybe I wouldn't have had the throat problems that I had if I did.
I saw you in Philly, and I know you had some problems with your throat. And the thing back then was that there was somebody that was supposed to be helping you out backstage.
No, unfortunately, like I said, if I had somebody, we wouldn't have had the problems that we had.
Right.
Right down here.
This is for Dee and Rudy. Have you guys kept in contact with Joey Franco and Tommy Aldridge?
Yeah, I mean, technically, Widowmaker is still together. Technically, the fact that we haven't played together in 2 years means nothing. But we're friends, and I see him regularly.
Rudy?
Yeah, right after Whitesnake, Tommy, Adrian Vandenberg, and Ron Young and myself, we did Manny Keaton. So, we got to play together. That was in '93, and about 3 or 4 months ago, I played with Tommy Aldridge on the Dragon Attack Queen tribute album. So yeah, whenever we find an opportunity to play together, we do.
We're going to do 2 more questions right here.
Okay, for each of you, which song or which piece of music would you think is your absolute best work that you've done? What do you really think is just the pinnacle of your career?
Woo! Loaded. Wrecked the old brain cells with that.
You'll see the second.
I'll go first. I get asked that all the time. It's real tough to answer because I wrote all the songs for Twisted, so myself. So I wouldn't bring anything to the band that I myself wasn't really happy with. That said, and this is not just an effort to sell bootleg Desperado CDs because I really have nothing to do with them, but the Desperado project, which I did with Clive Burr and Bernie Torme, really some of my best moments, which was the greatest heartbreak when Elektra Records shelved the project and locked up the tapes and would not allow me to have access to them. And some of the best stuff I ever wrote was on that record. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't know if it'll ever see the light of day. There is a bootleg available, and feel free to buy it. I have not.
It's right in the middle somewhere.
I haven't tried to stand in the way of it. I wasn't getting anything from Elektra anyway. And this way, at least, some people get to hear it, and it's obviously made from some master dads with some period pictures and everything. So, I'll be glad to sign them if you get them. But it's got some great music on it. Nicko?
For me, I think definitely Seventh Son and Seventh Son. That song is really. Steve Harris is a genius writer as far as I'm concerned. He's written some brilliant songs. Sign of the Cross on the last album is one of my my favourites. Hello Be Your Name, things like that.
Yeah.
But Seventh Son has definitely got. It's got some magic to it. To Tame a Land. The one great thing, again, he's been asked this question as well, and myself many times. And to have a favourite song is really good. To play Hello Be Thy Name, I love to play, and Heaven Can Wait. But as a player, as a drummer, but every Maiden song that we do, from a drumming point of view, it's a pleasure to play. But I think really my all-time has got to be Seventh Son.
Rudy?
I would say definitely the Manny Keaton record, because by the time that I got to record that in the early '90s, I was basically going through bass therapy, trying to get rid of all of my bad habits that I picked up in the '80s from going in there, because I started playing in the '60s. And then in the '70s, the music was more experimental and more progressive. And then by the time I actually got in the studio to record, the style had changed. And bass players, the style was to play 8 notes, just cum, 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 cum. So it's like, and every time we would go in the studio, systematically, I would start playing like that. And then when I did Manny Keaton, the producer, Tom Fletcher, really helped me out to get rid of that. And just go back to the way you used to play before. And it was hard because for a whole decade being told, okay, no bass fill, just So I think that was basically my breakthrough studio session, because from that point on, I again go back to the way that I used to play in the '70s.
Somebody who didn't ask you a question. back here.
Dee Snider, what was the band's feelings on doing the Pee Wee Herman movie?
Well, at the time, I was really excited to do it. I knew Pee Wee. I had met him, and we were both fans of each other's stuff. This is before he became like a kids, star. He was like sort of college comedian, and it was really fun. But it's kind of nightmarish that to some people, that's what they remember about my career. I run into like kids, young kids who like weren't around in the 80s, and they go, "Aren't you that guy in Pee Wee's movie?" I'm like, yeah, that was me, yeah. But actually, it was doing that movie, working with Tim Burton, who directed the film, that got me the bug to start writing screenplays and stuff, and that's what I've been doing more of. And now, finally, I've got a picture that I wrote that's in production. So it really gave me the bug, being there on the set and experiencing seeing a movie made.
It's a classic film.
That's a great movie too.
You're
Yeah.
also on Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah, well, a reference in there, right? Yeah, I got all those tapes with the references and.
I was in elementary school and I thought you were really weird.
Gung ho. What do you think now? Well, judging by the kids are back, sure. I think she's changed her mind. There were a lot of mentions. Twisted became one of those household words where the Twisted Sister as a name was used just to when you refer to a maniac rock and roll band, they say, "Oh, you're into Twisted Sister," on television shows and what have you. So it's kind of
My
neat.
mom hated
Dee, thank you.
Is Al Petrelli going to stay with Sabotage, or is he going to come back to Widowmaker?
I've named, Rudy will appreciate this, I've named Al El Puto, which means the whore in Spanish, because Al will play with anybody who's got a couple of dollars to offer him. Now that said, I say that with love, because Al is a talented musician, and he also turned me on to the fact that, you can, if you're a creative person, and you're a player, you can go out and put your heart into every project you get into. And that's why Al is so in demand. He's worked with Stephen Pearcy on Vertex and Sabotage. He played with Widowmaker. He's been with Alice, and he just came back from a tour with a bass player named T.M. Stevens in Japan. He's all over the place. And that's because he loves to play. So his thing is, hey man, I don't want to work a day job. I want to play my guitar. So if somebody asks me to play guitar, I'm going to go out there. If Asia calls me and say, do you want to play guitar on this tour in place of Steve Howe, not only am I flattered, but I'm going to go out and do it. And my response to that is, but you have to pose in every picture with the band and look like you're really enjoying it that much. And he can't explain that. So Al he's with Sabotage, and he's with Widowmaker, he's with everybody. El Puto.
Okay, we're going to recap with just detailing us how the Band of Doom came about, because I know some people were asking me, how did you get these three guys in a room together? And we were talking about it last night.
Good. Well,
let's start with Dee and Rudy.
I'll have to make this up as I go along. No, actually it started with me and Rudy. Somebody wrote to Rudy on the internet saying it was me, emailed me saying it was me. And then Rudy wrote to me saying, "Is that really you?" And I said, "No, it's not me. Are you really Rudy?" So after several emails, trying to go, well, if you're really Rudy Sarzo, what strings do you use? And how would you know that?
He asked me, how did you meet me?
Oh yeah, right, we had met. Yeah, and we had met once, and he would text it in. So then we picked up a phone and said, "This is stupid, let's talk to each other like human beings." Email, schmemail, pick up the phone, man. It's 25 cents, come on. So we started talking, and I don't know if it was Rudy who came up with the idea, I think, or to do something in South America with a bunch of all-star players, different guys from different bands, and then going out and playing a couple songs from each of the artists. We were talking, we were talking with Snake from Skid Row was interested in doing it, and I forgot who we were talking on drums for a while. It was Tommy. Whatever. We were exploring the idea, but then just scheduling everything, it just never worked out, and I had come up with the idea of calling it the Band of Doom. So we didn't do anything. So then when the people here at Thunderfest, Danny and the others, started talking about doing this, I said, well, why don't you think about getting some, when you have musicians coming in, get a drummer, get a bass player, get a vocalist, get some people and do like a little impromptu Band of Doom at each Thunderfest, whoever's there, get together, rehearse a couple songs, and it's kind of cool we rehearsed last night, and I got to do a couple of main things and Pat Travers stuff early on in his career, and some Quiet Riot and Ozzy, and it was fun. So it kind of like reminded me of the club days, doing covers and stuff like that. So, and that's what the Band of Doom is. I mean, so don't expect some polished thing. I mean, when it comes to Maiden, I got the lyrics. Because I can't remember that shit. And remembering lines like the acrid smell of horse's breath doesn't come naturally to me. I'm sorry. I want to rock, yes, metal health, the acrid stench of horse's breath. Oh, is that what that might So when we do play, I mean, please, appreciate, take it in the spirit that it's given. We all learned this stuff. We said, hey, this would be fun. And last night, I mean, I got in like midnight, and we were in this little rehearsal studio in Orlando. We just went in and played through the things a couple times. We got a guitar player, because we didn't have a guitar player here, so we got Dan playing, and it's fun. So hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as we're enjoying it. If you don't. But I mean that with love. And,
Okay, so how about a big hand for Dee, Nicko, Rudy? Give them some time to chow down.
We'll be out in a little bit. So hang out. There's something else going on too, right?
We're going to do the psychotic metal airbrush show now.
Good. Okay. My favorite.
All right. Okay, once again, the Band of Doom.
Folks, we've got a great treat for you this afternoon as we wait for Merrick's to arrive on the stage. Check out the Paris Records table in the back of the hall because Paris recording artists Rocks Gang are here signing records, signing photos, meeting and greeting. One of my all-time favorite bands, and they are here today. So check them out while you can. Rocks Gang, live in person, in the back of the room at the Paris Records table. Check them out while you can.
Can my sister get a picture with you guys? Oh, please, I love you so much. I can't believe you guys are here. Oh, man, did I even have a picture with us?
I have my eyes closed.
That's okay. Okay, I know who you are.
That's a good question. Where is Kevin at today?
Exclusive. Where's the set list? Thanks very much. All right, what we did was we sort of looked at the bands that we played with, and we just picked a couple of songs and what have you. By the way, Dan McCafferty over here playing guitar with us tonight. Some of you may remember him from Nazareth as a lead vocalist, and he grew several feet and changed the guitar. No, actually, plays with a band called Wild August, and he's helping us out. All right, Nicko. He was in a band. Nicko here. Yes. Before Iron Maiden, played with a band called Pat Travers. I don't know if everybody remembers Pat Travers. And when I was playing clubs, the other bands used to do a Pat Travers song, and it just wasn't right for Twisted Sister. And I always liked the song, and I always wish I had the chance to sing it. And so we're going to do that right now. It's from when Nicko played with Travers. It's what's called Boom Boom, Out Goes the Lights. Still a two? Yeah. Who cares? That's the spirit that made the 80s great. Who cares? All right. Here we go. This one, I don't need a chord for this one. I think I know what this one is. Whose is it? Is it mine? You start this one? I wrote it. Listen, we got a real backing vocal problem here. So like last night when rehearsals, there's no like all the gang vocals, there's no gang, so you're assigned. I'm deputizing all of you. You gotta help me out here. You ready, boys? Yeah. Okay. Here we go, ready? I wanna run!
Dan? You okay?
I'm doing fine.
You're doing great, Daniel! Hope you on no hurts, man. All right. Is everybody all right? Nicko? Yeah. You can turn the lights up in between songs, because these guys are fucking stars, you know? There we go. All right, Rico. Yeah? No, we're doing next? That's right, okay. Here's one from Rudy's Dim Dark. One of those...
The
Everybody okay?
Hell yeah!
You need some guitar in the monitor? You got any possibility of getting some guitar in the monitor there? T-Boy?
I don't think so.
No, see what you can do. All right, everybody too? Yeah. This is what you deal with professional musicians. This is the quality of work you expect from Rudy Sarzo. How's that? Getting back at you for the fawn of the mic. All right, you got a guitar in there? Play, check it. More. More guitars! How about that? Spoken like a true guitar player. All right, here we go. Don't forget to give me a chord on this one. Okay.
Come on, man, hit the note.
Go for it. first one I fucked up. And I didn't fuck up in a place I've been fucking up all week. Oh. So I was like so proud of myself going, yes, I didn't blow. All right. We've been ignoring Nicko. I've told you before, for the life of me, memorizing Bruce Dickinson's words are like nearly impossible. I'm telling you. The acrid smell of horse's breath doesn't roll out of the tongue easily. But, in spite of that, I will attempt to remember the words. Though if you see me grabbing for a piece of paper down there, it's the lyrics.
That's all right, dude.
Okay, so, you'll hold it for me. Thank you.
It's just like karaoke.
That would be great. Okay. So let's give it a shot. Are you ready? This one's called 2 Minutes to Midnight. Saint Nick. Oh. Saint Nick! All right. We got one more for you. And then we're going to be coming out real fast to sign some autographs and stuff like that, so don't go away. We're just going to go out the back and dry it off and come back out here, okay? So if everybody cool? Yeah! I know you guys are cool. Sorry about that. They're ready. Sorry about that. Nick? Saint Nick. I didn't realize that was a... Oh, I know that. Dee fucking Snider. We'll see you in a little bit, all right? Hang around, we'll be right back out.
All right, let's hear it for him, the Band of Doom.
Okay, what we're going to really do is take about 5 steps back. We're going to put tables down here so you guys don't trip over the stuff. We'll come out and have these guys sign stuff. This is where you pull out your red ticket. Now, a lot of people have, like, disappeared, so what we're going to do, we're going to try and do this real quick, is we're going to start the line.
Dad, get your...
Good singing, really good.
C or K? Okay. C or K? Okay.
Jerry's nice guy. Dee Snider, blah, blah, blah. He goes, I have a friend who has a blah, side. You know? I'm like, I'm always good luck to you. You know, why do you send me people to the band? And then when I meet him, he goes, oh, thanks a lot. I look at him.
Pleasure meeting you.
And you're playing with Dawn. I was like so happy for him. And he goes, that was like me working in the performance hall, having a dream, you know? He's great too, and he touts me all the time. I love that guy. Good luck in the future. Thanks, man. Picture, Ryan, with a Y or an I? Pleasure mine. Well, it would be nice. That will make excellent. I'm afraid. I saw you out there. I'm afraid you got a lot of head in your camera.
Well, no, they told me I had to stop taping, so I didn't tape like a little bit. I got like a song.
Thanks. We'll see you.
So yeah, then I got like nobody because I just stopped, so I was just holding it there.
Well, go ahead, tape away. What am I making this to?
Tara.
It's your Tom Legs in the fucking box. What? It's your Tom Legs in the box. Oh yeah, okay. You're welcome, mate.
I'll make that one up to Rick.
Rick, sure.
Oh, he's gonna freak. Like, oh, you'll never get this for me. You'll never
CK
get
or C or what is it?
R-I-C-K. Yeah. That was for Brooke.
I don't think the goal's in the show.
Okay.
Who's this for?
Brooke?
The original lineup. Yeah. We started talking.
Yeah. You want the album signed? You want it in gold or?
Who's this for?
Do you want it written out to you or just Are you still doing your line of toys and stuff?
I'm doing so many things. That was something that got like blown out of proportion. I was involved with a company developing entertainment projects, and they asked me to help them out with like, with this toy line. And so I did, and then the press, like, I do a new album, the press couldn't give a shit. I wind up, I do something with toys, and it's like everybody wants to talk to me.
I saw
I'm
you
like,
on Pat Bullard with
I'm like, where were you when I had a new album, But it was fun. Yeah, I'm doing a movie right now. That's my main focus. Who's this
Jill?
I'm going to use Al as a signing area because he's so dark.
Yeah, that would be really smart. Oh, that's such a great picture.
It is what it is.
And who's this?
I made a little store like this in children or something.
Yeah, that's such a good thing.
It's usually artists of like her kind of a logo like that.
Exactly, and it doesn't say Melissa.
Oh, you're like the marketing team.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good.
I'm from Canada. I'm representing the editor.
All right. Absolutely. Canada.
Nice to meet you.
All right, we're going to sign.
You can sign in.
Thank you. What's your name?
Chris.
There's that man in the middle.
Hey, what's up with the father and the teacher?
That's Bruce.
Is that his name, Douglas?
Mark Metcalf.
Oh, yeah.
He was on
I saw that movie the other night. What movie was it? Can't remember, but it was on Seinfeld.
Joey's in gold too?
He works from time to time.
I've got his phone number at home.
Yeah, I just gave him mine about coming down here. In a couple of weeks, I may be going upstairs.
Okay. All right.
Yes. I'll give it to you tomorrow. I'm telling him I'm going to give it to
You don't see that piece around too much.
Sorry?
You don't see that piece around too much.
You don't? No, actually.
Yeah. Especially over here.
No, it's, I don't know how you got it.
I bought a large Iron Maiden collection in Austin, Texas last year, and that was a piece part of it. So yeah, I buy a lot of Iron Maiden stuff, you know, especially UK stuff.
Yeah.
I just picked up a great video today with piano on it. It was great.
Oh, was that from the Rainbow?
Yeah, I've never seen it before. That's the first I've seen of it.
Yeah, they've been floating around. They're
Yeah.
rare as well.
I've seen you guys when the first time you come over. I seen you with Judas Priest, I think. I think it was Def Leppard too. You guys came in the free band.
82.
Yeah, that's when I seen you guys. It was great.
Yeah.
You know, and I always wanted
before my time. The year before my time. Yeah. Yeah, Boomer tokens. Yeah, I left them in my mate's car. Boomers. What's a boomer? That's my nickname. That's Rudy Sarzo's name. Oh, there you go.
You only sign it here or this over here?
Were they good for nothing?
Oh, you should play, you buy them out of the machine, play the machines with them.
Oh, the video.
Yeah. I'll take my boy up there.
Oh, all right.
He had them, we went in my mate's car and he left them in there one afternoon. There's a lot of waiting around, you know. Hey, Shane.
I remember we used to have to make that announcement before we started playing, man. Oh, man, you were lucky to get this. Oh, man, that was it. My son's
Is that your shop? That's your face on the front of that shirt.
Yeah, that's me. That's my store.
Where is it?
What's that?
Where is it?
In Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh?
Yeah. You see the logo on the back?
This is the man doesn't have
That's all I deal on is vinyl.
That makes it even cooler.
You should put underneath, but I don't use it as a rule.
Yeah. If only it was true, huh?
People go, hang on, I thought he's talking about records here, right?
That's right. Yeah, if only it was true. I wouldn't be doing records.
Bring back the 7 inches in diameter.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's getting crude, right? Pittsburgh.
Thanks.
Well, maybe we'll catch you up there on the next tour.
Yeah, I hope so.
Just down here on vacation or?
Actually, well, part vacation. I come down here for this mostly.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
You're going to go to the one in Texas?
I'm going to try to do all the cities they do, at least in the States. I like to go over Europe, but I don't know if I can.
Oh, kid, look at this! Streetwalker! Wild boots!
Oh, man. Look at
who is that man?
Hold on a second, I want to see this. That's which one is him?
Yeah, the action one in the back! Fucking give it up! Can't you tell from the profile?
You don't even have a last name. Well, I didn't think you were born like that, so I figured it was maybe before the incident.
Ah, fucking red card, downtown flying.
Oh, yeah.
Great track that is, isn't it?
1 second, all right?
Take your time. Where are you at? Where are you at?
It's me there. Young fucking boy, only 21 years old there. I was. That's brilliant. Did I sign that? What's your name? Wow. So you don't see many of these. This album actually had a bonus track on it.
I haven't sang in months too, but thank you.
Forget which one. There's another track on this album. It's not on. No, it's not on the British version. When we came out with this, we came out with red vinyl. I usually ask. It's a good album, actually. I really like like it. That Me, Me Horse and Me Rum, one of my favourite tracks from that band. No, my pleasure. Gosh, what year was that? 75? 76.
Guys before we didn't turn out.
Thanks for all the information. It's great, lads. Thank you.
Take care, man.
Yeah, sure.
So she doesn't want to lose you.
Nicko, how are you?
Mate, I'm fine. How are you?
I've really enjoyed my day. Thanks so much for taking the whole day. Wonderful lot to everybody. My name's Mark. So you make it to me.
M-A-R-C.
M-A-R-C. Who is this for?
These two are mine and that one's mine.
Okay, so what's your name? Spell. Can I get you to take one more of me? Oh, Shannon. Thank you very much. Oh, Nicko, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming. May I take a quick picture with you? Would you mind?
Hi. Hi. Is there more chairs over there?